Hello, viewers. I was on eBay for better or for worse, and I came across this vintage Galaxy. And it's a model that I had no idea existed. And you might say, what the heck are you talking about? Um, so first off, the auction's for $42, $42.50, which I think is totally reasonable for what this is. And in fact, I meant to heart that. And the shipping is like 25 bucks, which I actually think is reasonable too. But let me just talk to you about why I think this is rare. And for me, I didn't realize this even existed. Okay. So we know these models. So this was the model after really the 80s. Like I equate everything to Lasko, right? The big full-size cabinet. This is after that, but before they Lasko rounded the cabinets out. The 3733s that exist today, that's kind of like, yes, they're smaller and skinnier versus the 90s versions, but like that style, that gray cabinet with the rounded corners, that would look a little Lakewood-esque. And I remember in the 90s when that came out, I was like, these look, they're trying to copy Lakewood. So this is that in-between model, right? Late 80s to like early 90s. And then like kind of like mid 90s or so, they redesigned the cabinet again, rounded them, still use D blades, Marco motors, etc. So and you can get a sense for, not that this is a small cabinet, but it is definitely narrower than its predecessor, the 80s, that big, thick cabinet that is like probably another few inches wider. And this one here, again, is that in between. Yeah, you can get the idea. It still has the plastic motor. There it is in its plastic glory. Okay, so you may say, so what, right? Well, the reason I bring this to your attention is I tell a story in one of the other videos, I forget which, of how I ended up with the Eastern Electric version of this fan in 1988. I was 10. Now, and I tell that story in that video because, and I do have an Eastern Electric version with the gray cabinet, not the tan cabinet. But in 1988, I got one brand new. I saved my money as a 10-year-old. I wanted a Toastmaster. It cost a few dollars more at the same hardware store, which is unique back to, you would never see that today. Hardware store sold two different model box fans from two different manufacturers. They sold Toastmaster and Eastern Electric. So the Eastern Electric was a little less money, and it was my mom wouldn't give me any more money. so that's kind of how that rolled, right? And what I remember being a 10-year-old, I was disappointed because I pulled it, the box itself still had that cabinet on the cover or in the front, the back, that looked like the mid 80s, like the big thick cabinet I'm talking about. And I think what really bummed me out was on the box, it had an image of the badge across the front of the grill. Well, when I got home and pulled it out, I was like, what's this? This fan's been neutered. It's a skinnier cabinet. There's no badge on it. What the heck? The hub of the blades isn't interesting to me. Like, think Lakewood, think like, it's just cool. It almost looks like a wheel, like a wheel on a muscle car or something, with the, whether it's fake or it's real, but the air inlets, in the center of the hub. So at that time, I just thought, it was like, this is a non-interesting fan. But it was powerful. It was loud. It was powerful from what I remember. the irony is that a fan like that today would be awesome to have compared to what's, you know, this equivalent 3733. So the point I'm making in all of this is I did not realize during that, I call these fans changeover fans, from the big 80s cabinets to the 90s rounded cabinets. This was like the in between. What I didn't realize was a model existed with a badge on the front. That to me is what is making this unique and rare. Now, with these changeover models, they still use the same handle as their predecessors from the 80s, the same knob. But this one retained the grill. Now, what I don't know is this unique to Galaxy, the Galaxy version of this, because I had an Eastern Electric with no, identical to this with no badge on the front. Did Lasko have a badge on theirs, or was it unique to Galaxy? Was it just a marketing gimmick to differentiate the brands, right? I don't know. So, or was it, because I think these grills are the exact grills that fit on their predecessor. Was it also the case of a manufacturing situation where they had X number of parts left to assemble the previous version of this fan, so they just used up the grills until they ran out, and then to save manufacturing costs, they just skipped the label and just made these grills interchangeable front and rear with no. When I say no, I mean like, well, let's see here. Yeah, you can see that. Yeah. That is so cool. Yeah, so its predecessor had the grill with the label on it, but it was blank. There was no, they cheaped on the sticker, only one sticker per fan. But then I guess to save manufacturing costs, they stopped making that area to put the badge on. And then maybe what they did was when they ran out of these grills, then they think, okay, well, we save manufacturing costs. Now we have interchangeable grills that we don't have to pay for a sticker for the front, and we can make the same grill for the front and the back. Because my front grill was identical to this one in the rear on the same exact fan, branded Eastern. The only difference was here. It did say on here, like Eastern Electric somewhere. I could go take a picture or look at the video of it. I'm fairly certain that's where it said it. But let me know what you think. Is this fan on eBay kind of like an oddball? Or did Galaxy, the sub-brand Galaxy, did all of these models at this time period have the badge on the front? If they did not, and again, this was kind of a parts bin leftover changeover year or whatever, then this indeed could be kind of a unique or unicorn one. I am not as intimate with the model numbers and what changes occurred across Lasko, Galaxy, and Eastern Electric during this time frame. So maybe somebody out there like Tori or Lamont can chime in with that information. But I just made a purchase recently on eBay because it was like if you are patient enough and watch long enough, and there's two ways I think to use eBay as collectors. Let me back up. 2 ways to use eBay as a collector. One, if you're just open to collecting something that is interesting, you don't have in your collection, maybe like this fan, and you're watching long enough, you might find something that's at a decent price with decent shipping, and it's worth it, right? To add something to your collection that you don't have, or maybe something that you already have, but you want a nicer one, or maybe you want a less nice one so you can use it more frequently on a daily. That's one way of using eBay. The other way of using eBay is overpaying for something. Guilty. I have gone on eBay and have overpaid for a model of a fan that doesn't come up that often, and I really wanted it for my collection. I have done that. I've actually been outbid in those situations, which is crazy. So it tells me there's other maniacs like me out there. But I these days I just don't go perusing on eBay unless. I should say I do go perusing on eBay just to kind of check out if there's something out there that I've been dying for. Like, for example, I would love to get my hands on a second Lakewood P25 with the earlier motor in it. I have a later one, as I've well documented on this channel, and it hangs out in my museum. It does not get used. Last year it got the most use. I unraveled the cord for the first time, and I've owned it since new. Last time I had a few requests for some videos of it in the window and whatnot, so I wanted to have some fun with that. Those are fun videos to make. But but that's an example. If I saw another P25 out there, I would snag it in a second and overpay for it. But and there's a few Edison models, like the metal bladed comfort fan. I have one that's needs restoration, but if I found one in better shape, I would certainly snag that. So we all have our wish list, right? And I did find something recently that's on my wish list. Not on eBay though, and I'm going to do another video to talk about that, and I'm super excited. All right, so back to this Galaxy. Let me know, you guys chime in on this, because I don't know if it's unique or not. And if you guys think it's unique, I mean, let me know if you're going to bid on it, because I won't. I don't want to drive up the price if someone's interested in it, because I just don't want to do that to a fellow collector. But if you guys think I should go for it, then maybe I'll go for it. But if this is someone's unicorn fan, I don't want to make it more expensive or unattainable. But let me know what you think. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. And for those of you who have been patient, yes, more fan videos are coming. I know I've drifted off that topic for a bit as the winter has rolled on and some things in my professional career trickled into the channel that I talked about. So let me know, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.